This week, we hit the road for a chill night camping at one of my go-to spots near Las Vegas. Make a great meal over the fire and cozy up in the Go Fast camper. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're doing some camping. This is kind of a last minute trip. I was actually originally planning on going up to Mount Charleston and doing some snowboarding up there and camping, but the mountain is looking real sad. There's like not really a lot of snow, so I didn't really want to spend money on a lift ticket when there isn't really good powder. So it's gonna be a really chill night. We're gonna make some good food and just kind of hang out, you know? I'm still kind of planning my 2025 camping season, so I think I'm gonna spend some time doing that, doing some research, figuring out the best times to go where. There's a couple places that I want to go to this year, so maybe I'll talk you guys through it, get you guys' input, see what you guys want to see. Got camp all set up, kept it pretty minimal today. Just got the bare essentials. We're gonna be making dinner over the Ignic fire pit. I had no firewood at home, so we're just, you know, rolling with propane fire. It is super windy though right now, unfortunately, so I might end up hanging out in the truck. We're just gonna have a chill night, plan out the rest of our camping year. So I don't know, I feel like we've been to pretty much everywhere 1 to 4 hours around Las Vegas. So I'm just like looking at the maps and trying to see what's new out here. I'm gonna put this into cabana mode so that we can just kind of hang out in the truck later. Let's move all these panels around. All right, ready to hang out for later. Close this up because I have been seeing a little bit of bugs. Alright guys, well we are back from our little jaunt around the campground. Super nice, really pretty out. Just had to get my steps in, you know. But I'm getting a little thirsty, so let's grab a drink. Well guys, it's the new year, and like many people across the world, I'm sure, or I don't know, maybe it's just a United States thing, but I'm doing dry January. So instead of our normal alcoholic beer, I have a non-alcoholic beer. So for the month of January, I figured I would, you know, dive into the world of non-alcoholic beverages and try them out for you guys. Today, I got the Heineken, which I've never actually had this one. I'm usually not the biggest fan of Heineken though, but we'll see how this one goes. So this is their double zero beer. Cheers, guys. If you guys have ever had a Heineken, this is definitely like a lighter version of it, but it is pleasant. It's got a good aftertaste, pretty smooth, but it does have that skunkiness, if you know what I mean, of like a very typical beer. I don't even know how to explain it like that. Malt, that's what it is. It's the malt in this that gives it that like malty aftertaste, I guess is what you call it. But very Heineken-esque. Not crispy though. I really like crispy beer. You know, Coors Light, PBR, stuff like that for, you know, just any beer pong trash beer. But this one's not bad. And if I'm drinking a 0% beer, it might as well be in a glass so I can enjoy it. Cheers, y'all. The sun is setting. I love the water. I love the views from the water out here. It is extremely windy out today, but man, it is so nice out. As I was walking around the campground, it was like really quiet. There's a lot of empty spaces and not a lot of people out here, to be honest, but it's nice. It's very quiet and just peaceful. All right, guys, so before it gets too dark, we're gonna get dinner going. So tonight we're making a twist on some hamburger helper, but instead of just normal rice, we're going to be using some orzo. So this is a hamburger helper orzo recipe that I found online. Exact name here. So this is a 1-pot hamburger helper orzo. Let's get started. I'm hoping by hiding the fire pit behind camp tote will give it a little bit of wind deflection. We are going to grab everything we need here. That plate and some measuring cups. This as well. And some spices. I think that's it. I pre-cut my onions this time because ain't nobody got time to cut some onions out at camp. And all of our ingredients here. And for those of you wondering why I carry a cooler with me, someone commented on my last video and was like, all this tech, all this power, but you're still carrying around a ice cooler. And the only reason why I carry this particular cooler around with me is it's just really convenient to pack up, put it in the truck, versus carrying out a big old Dometic and then getting the whole power system set up for it. So this just makes it easier, guys. But I do have a fancy cooler for a longer trip. I usually use those for like the weekend, you know, but for when it's just me and it's just a quick overnighter, we keep it simple, y'all. Otherwise, if you complicate things, you're never gonna get out, you know? So, ingredients. So we got some garlic, we got some milk. This is more of like a garnish, some mustard. We got some shredded cheese, some iceberg lettuce, and some ground beef. We got some 96.4 ground beef. I'm getting the pot warmed up, so we're gonna saute the onions first as soon as the cast iron is all heated up, and then we'll get the beef browned up in there and then add everything else. Yep, so that's the rest of the ingredients here. So after we get the beef browned up with the onions, we're gonna mix in our tomato sauce, our chicken broth, get that all mixed up to a boil, and then add our orzo. And I love me some orzo, y'all. Comment down below if you guys are orzo fans, but this is one of my favorite pastas, or like rice substitute type of things for meals like this. Some oil. Do about a tablespoon of oil. So we're not gonna cook the onions all the way through. We're just gonna saute them just for like a couple minutes, but we're gonna add the garlic now. Give that a little bit of a saute. Don't want that garlic to burn though, so keep it moving. We're gonna pump up the heat on the fire pit now. So we're just gonna cook this up till it's browned up. Oh man, sun's setting and those winds are picking up. Beef is ready to go, so we're gonna stir in our tomato sauce and chicken broth. So it calls for 1 whole can of tomato sauce and then 1.5 cups of chicken broth. Gonna mix this up here, and we're gonna get this to a boil. And also 1 cup of milk. One teaspoon of paprika. Teaspoon. Looks good. More. Salt. And pepper. And then some Italian seasoning, which I do have this like pizza thing. So I'm gonna do some Italian herb on there. This thing comes out really fast. Teaspoon of that. There we go. And let's mix this all up and bring it to a boil. The milk addition to this is very interesting. Definitely should be good though. It's gonna add like a creaminess to the tomato sauce. Perfect for the orzo to cook in, so let's get this to a boil. To get this to a boil, I am gonna add the top pan. This will just speed it up so we don't waste that much propane getting this all ready to boil up. And after it gets to a boil, we're mixing our orzo. Let's check on this. All right, we are boiling. Get this mix here. Alright, so we're gonna mix about half of this box of orzo in there. If I can get it open. Alright, so this thing is packed. Okay, so literally half a box, so right above there. That's good. We're just gonna cook this uncovered now on a lower heat. So we don't want the orzo to burn. Turn that down just a little bit. It legit smells like Hamburger Helper. Oh, it smells so good. I am impressed. All right, I'll check back in about 10 minutes. All right, guys, so this is almost done. All the liquid has evaporated. The orzo is looking cooked. So let's try this out. Oh yeah. Maybe just like a tad bit more salt. I'm also going to put a little bit of garlic and onion in there. Maybe a little bit more Italian herb. Tiny little red pepper flakes. Take this off the heat so it stops cooking, because this is pretty much done. All I got to do now is fold in the cheese. It specifically says fold in the cheese too.
What does fold in the cheese mean? He folds it in.
Much better than any like boxed Hamburger Helper for sure. The orzo is perfect because it's like, I feel like boxed Hamburger Helper usually gets a little bit soggy. I don't know. It just, this is like perfect though. The consistency is perfect. The noodles are cooked perfectly. Let's get this cheese folded in there. Holy crap. It's getting windier and windier. Fold this cheese in. Fold the cheese. Fold the cheese. Shout out to anyone who has seen Schitt's Creek. Alright, that's probably all the cheese my body needs. Alright, wind is ripping. Alright, let's plate up and retreat into the truck. So what I'm going to do to get my veggies in is I'm going to put this on top of a plate of some greens, you know. Alright, I'm gonna throw the top cast iron on this so that mice and stuff don't get up to it. Alright guys, in the truck here, sitting crisscross applesauce. I don't know why I do this to myself. I know it's not the most comfortable, but for some reason, I don't know. It just works really well for getting everything set up in here. Dinner is served here. Gonna throw a little bit of red pepper flakes on the top. Give it a little spice. Probably gonna use a fork here since I got some leafy greens. But let's try this out here. Cheers, y'all. Oh yeah. The salad gives it like a nice little crunch to it. But the hamburger helper on its own with the orzo. Really good. That extra sharp cheddar cheese that the recipe had me add to it, it definitely gives that like cheesiness that the hamburger helper in the box gives you. And I really didn't even put that much. I maybe put like maybe a third or fourth cup. But it definitely brings everything together. So I like it. Looks good. Probably give it like a, maybe a 7.5 out of 10. I'd definitely make it again. That's for sure. This is pretty good. Definitely better than a box hamburger helper. Man, I just love me some orzo. Getting the curtains up. So we're kind of hunkering down for the night. The winds are kind of starting to pick up. But it's nice and toasty in here. But I might set the ambiance just a little bit. I should set up the alcohol burning fire pit since it's been a while since I've used that. Sometimes it takes a second. I need to give it like a little bit of starter fuel here. I think it needs to like be warmed up. I'm not sure why, but this usually works. People have asked me whether or not this truly makes any difference, but I mean, it takes the edge off just a little bit. It does give off some heat, especially around like the stone. It does get a little bit hot. So I'd say, maybe just like a couple degrees, but nothing that you'll survive in a, really cold night. I'd say it's really just more for the ambiance, The wind is definitely starting to rip. I don't know why I do this, but I never check the weather, so I guess I could check now. But whatever it is, it's not like I'm leaving, so whatever. I'm just taking in whatever Mother Nature gives me. I am feeling like this heat, like right here. So I mean, it's nice. I'll say that. Will it keep you warm in 20 degrees? No. It's only like 40. It's 54 degrees right now, so that's about it. I'm not even cold. It's really just for the ambiance, y'all. This is like one of those original like alcohol burning stone fire pits when they first came out, because I think we paid a good amount for this. Like the stone that's on this is like really heavy duty. Like you could knock someone out with it. And I think when we bought this it was like $80, but you can find alcohol burning fire pits for cheap these days, That wind is picking up. Maybe I should just look. All right, let's see what the wind's looking like tonight. 37-mile-an-hour winds tonight. That's funny. But it'll calm down in about 2 hours. So just in time for us to go to bed. Definitely one of the pros of the GFC, especially since this type of scenario is literally the reason why I bought the GFC. was to have some place to retreat into whenever it's super windy out and just hang out, you know, relax. I think I am very close to getting something built out in here though. I've been looking at different designs and stuff. I don't really have the funds for it right now, but hopefully by the summertime is what I'm hoping. Super good. All right, guys, so I've been making some travel, I guess making like a travel wish list for 2025, and I got a couple things in my head that I really want to try and do this year. One of which is a Tucson, Arizona road trip. This would be just like a few days, but I really want to go check out Bisbee, Arizona. So I've heard good things. It looks like a really cool town to go check out, so that's definitely on the list. While we're out in that area, we also want to go check out Tombstone and also Saguaro National Park. So we'll probably do like a mini road trip out to Tucson, Arizona sometime this year. Hopefully before it gets too hot, so probably before the summer is what I'm hoping. Another place on my list is Lone Pine, California, which, I don't know, it looks like a cool town. And oh, also, I really want to go check out Anza Borrego, actually, State Park, which I've heard is really cool as well. In Nevada, I'm also looking at Kershaw-Ryan State Park, and that's up by Pioche, or Hico. No, it's up by Caliente. So Kershaw-Ryan State Park is also on my list. Sand Hollow State Park out in Utah. Supposedly there's some good fishing out there, so I'm going to try and maybe do like an overnighter out there. Gunlock State Park is another one up in Utah. And then Big Bear, California, which I really want to do during the summertime. I think it's going to be a good place to escape the heat. I've also looked into snowboarding out there. Unfortunately, there's not enough snow yet. Maybe we'll go do that for some snowboarding. I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of keeping an eye out because we do want to try and hit up one good weekend snowboarding run. So we might go up to Utah, maybe Bryan Head, or I've heard Park City's really cool, but that's going to be a flight up there. Possibly Lake Tahoe, but we'll see. Some of the ones that you have to fly to, it's a little bit harder for us to get out there. For some of those places that we can drive to within like 4 hours, we could definitely do that in like a weekend. So I don't know though. But if you guys have any suggestions for where you want to see me go this year, comment down below, or what kind of trips you guys like to see. That way I can kind of plan out the year and figure out, you know, the best time to do stuff. I'm thinking of getting a group run scheduled sometime in February. It'll probably be someplace close to town, to be honest. Maybe just like a meetup at one of the lake beds around town, just because I'm not sure how many people are going to go, but maybe I'll pair up with some of the other guys I've camped with, maybe pack out campers, maybe desert overlanders. Stay tuned for that. I'll keep you guys posted on my Instagram and on the YouTube community page. So, but yeah, if you guys have any other suggestions on where to go this year, comment down below. Kind of putting together my list right now, and I literally just kind of like look around on maps to see what Google has highlighted, and then what I'll do from there is I'll just like look up things to do around the area, look up the camping in the area, stuff like that. So that's kind of how I figure out where to camp. And essentially, I mean, looking around Las Vegas, I mean, we've literally gone pretty much an hour to 3 to 4 hours away all around Las Vegas at this point. So I've definitely hit a lot of the main areas. So a couple of these, like Kershaw-Ryan, I think that's only like maybe an hour, like 2 hours away. So those are pretty close. The problem with those areas though is that the timing has to be right, because it does get pretty cold up north in the wintertime, and then in the summertime it does get pretty hot. So you really got to go during like the swing months, like early summer or like fall time, like early fall type of thing, so that you get like good weather. Well, anyway, so I'm done looking at maps now. Let me know though if you guys have any suggestions. Comment them down below. I think we're gonna throw on a movie and hang out. I'm so lazy to set up the bed. Sorry. I feel like I'm gonna end up sleeping down here, so I'm just literally laying down.
No such thing.
Oh man, I forgot how good Interstellar is. Ah, space movies. I love them.
In binary, roger, feeding data.
Good morning. Slept really good last night. The wind definitely died down around like 9 o'clock, and it was just peaceful throughout the night. Nothing crazy at 3 in the morning. This campground's one of the best campgrounds for bird watching. There's so many birds around here. They got doves, they got ravens, they got little roadrunners running around. It's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, so last night was awesome. Slept like a baby, slept solid. I like don't think I woke up once, other than someone's alarm going off at like, I think probably like 5 a.m. But other than that, super nice night. Just, man, so peaceful. We love this campground though. The spots out here, of all the Lake Mead campgrounds, obviously we do prefer dispersed camping, but sometimes you just need something easy, something that you can just drive up to and not have to, worry about finding a spot and, figuring out where to go. So campgrounds just, make it easy. Ain't no shame in that. Some of you guys always like, dodge about campgrounds, but honestly, whatever gets you out, whatever you prefer. We've definitely done our fair share of dispersed camping, but sometimes you just want to drive up and hang out. And especially in the wintertime, because, it was quiet. Like, it's super quiet at campgrounds in the winter because there's just not that many people. There's like probably over a dozen spots that are open tonight, or last night. So, it's kind of like you were out here by yourself. You hear a couple little things here and there, but otherwise it's not bad. But of all of the Lake Mead campgrounds that we've ever stayed at, Boulder City, Boulder Beach campground's definitely one of our favorites, next to Temple Bar Marina. Yeah, Calville Bay, Echo, they're okay. But Temple Bar is definitely cool. This one I like more because of the beach access and like the views from camp. The views from camp looking at the water is awesome. Because the campground kind of slopes up, a lot of the spots even behind this loop that's closer to the water, you can still see like waterfront views, which is awesome. Versus these other campgrounds, like these other Lake Mead campgrounds, usually you don't see the water from your campsite. You also have access to Boulder City, which Boulder City, we love Boulder City, so always a good time out there. So this is just a really good convenient location, and it's still close to town. So that's why it's kind of one of our favorite campgrounds. And in the wintertime, it's only $20 a night to camp out here, and you get, you know, bathrooms, access to water here, and if you do have an RV, there is a dump station out here for your RV. But I just love it because the spots are giant. So I mean, you're not like right next to each other. There's plenty of brush between each of the sites as well, so you do feel a little bit more private, you know, for a campground. So it's not bad. So a couple of you guys asked on my last video about the Japanese coffee that I was using. So this is what it looks like. This is like the packaging. I honestly, it's by a vendor called UCC, and I was able to get a pack of this on Amazon like 2 months ago, but when I recently looked it up, because some of you guys were asking, I couldn't find it anymore. So that's a bummer. And the pack of, I think 14 was only $15. That's why I was like, it's like a little over $1 a cup, but you know, honestly, I'm okay with paying $1 a cup for a good cup of coffee in the morning. But this is what it looks like. So if you see it online, I don't see it on Amazon anymore, but there are some like other websites that you can get this, but this is the brand. So I really, really like this one for just an instant, easy pour over coffee. But what I'm using today is a little like portable pour over system. Let me take this little filter out. But this is just like a little portable like pour over system that I got at the Japanese store over at Daiso. So it's right next to like Trader Joe's in Henderson. But this was literally $1.50, this little portable thing. They also sell the little cones for them, so you can just put, you know, whatever coffee that you want and then just use hot water to pour over it. And it's just a little compact system. I just bought this random bag at Daiso as well, just to keep everything together. And yeah, just a nice little compact set, easy to clean, easy to, you know, put away, set up. So not bad. This entire set was like less than $4, so I mean, you can't go wrong. A couple of other places, like just for like, you know, those like portable pour over sets, I don't even know. I think they were charging like $10 for like one that's like by like GSI or something. It's like $10 or $15 for like one of those, like, I don't even know. It's like just like a little packable pour over coffee set. But hit up the Japanese store, y'all. Daiso. I was actually surprised they don't sell any of the Japanese coffee there. They only sell tea, which is a bummer. But I'm gonna check out some of the other Asian stores around the area, see if they sell that like UCC coffee, and I'll keep you guys posted. There are so many birds over here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You see that hummingbird? Oh man, I don't know what it is about like turning 30, but all of a sudden you like to bird watch. Carly has this like app on her phone where you can like turn it on and like listen to all the little bird calls. I need to download this app. I need to get what that app is called, but you just turn your phone on and it'll sense like what's chirping around and like give you what birds are in the area. It's actually like a really cool app. It's up there next to like the Stargazer app, which if you guys have seen my previous videos, definitely download that as well, because it's an offline app that you can like use to look at the stars and identify what stars are in the area. This campground's just like full of life. It's cool. Like of all the campgrounds, I don't know why this one in particular, there's like always like a lot of like wildlife and birds and stuff. I have seen a coyote out here once too. But oh, that's what woke me up in the middle of the night. A bunch of coyotes were humming along and just howling at the night, you know. But you know, this is their playground as well, so it's all good. Definitely better than a car alarm going off. For breakfast today, we're gonna be just having some cereal. I've had this like Lucky Charms box in my dry food storage tote for forever. So I'm gonna do that. But instead of like normal milk, I got this like protein milk, which this is probably one of my favorite like to-go proteins. 30 grams of protein, only 150 calories. And this literally tastes like chocolate milk. It's the best, but it's over at Costco, Fairlife. If you guys are looking for a good protein, trying to get your protein fix in, you know, definitely check this out. It's super good. But we're just gonna sit around and watch the birds. All right, guys, well, that concludes the video. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.